Shed in the red, 206 south for 194 yards. Let's get to tracking. Hey, good morning to all you wonderful YouTubers. Hey, this is the Virginia Bushcrafter, the channel that you learn and practice the skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival. So I want to thank all you guys for coming to join me this morning. I'm doing fine. I hope everyone else is doing fine, and thank you for asking. But I'm out here again, guys, to perfect and learn some of the skills that I have already acquired. And I think what I want to do today, show how a lean-to tarp shelter can be used in 3 different ways. And then I'm going to try my hand at something else, but I'm going to keep that in the bag for right now. So let me get set up. I'll bring you along with me, and we're going to see how you can use a lean-to tarp shelter for 3 different ways. All right, let's get started. Shelter. So important. And the reason is because of the 3 rule. We know that we can go 3 minutes without air, or at least we hope so. We can go 3 hours in harsh weather, at least we hope so. 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and 3 months without human contact or communication. So let's focus on shelter. Now we know in harsh weather, again, 3 hours, but we know our shelter starts with our clothing. But I'm going to show you really quickly how you can use a lean-to in 3 different ways. So that's the lean-to on the ground. Let's get started. All right, guys, so I have put up a ridge line somewhat above about waist length. And this ridge line, of course, it has prusik knots on it. So we're aware what prusik knots are. They can go back and forth, but when tension is on them, they lock in place. So we start out with the tarp. We insert one of the prusik knots into the grommet, and we use some of Mother Nature. Just a stick off the ground, and we put it through the loop of the prusik knot. We go to the other side, and we repeat that process. Again, the grommet on the outside, prusik knot through the grommet, some of Mother Nature, pull the grommet, pull the prusik knot. That creates tension. So we see the beginning of shelter that we must have. We cannot stay in harsh weather more than 3 hours. This is a very, very quick shelter. So let's go to the rear, and I'm going to use some tent pegs or tent stakes to secure the rear. All right, again, that's the front starting off. Okay, so this is the rear of the lean-to shelter. Now, there are 4 grommets, so I'm going to put a tent stake in each one. That is the first one. Second one. And third one. And the fourth one. Now, this is a very, very quick and efficient shelter. And I can tighten it up somewhat, because after you put in the stakes, you're always going to be able to make some type of adjustment. Okay, so there you have a lean-to shelter made out of a 5x7 tarp. Okay, now there you have sufficient shelter for some harsh weather. If this shelter was even had mylar, heat could be reflected to you. But also here is a bedroll and a hot seat, a thermal seat. I choose to use a bedroll over anything that takes inflation, and the reason being is because something that inflates, at some point in time, it's not a matter of if, but when will it puncture. This bedroll has been hit many times. Punctured, not a problem. This bedroll works very well. I am off the ground. There would not be any conduction, because this bedroll will keep the conduction away, because there is something between me and the ground. So with this to sleep on, sleep under, in a bivvy, I will be just fine. All right, guys, so that is one way of using the lean-to shelter. But if you wanted to have more heat, one of the things that you can do is lower one of the ends from the top. So what I'm going to do, remove the tension. I'm going to remove some of Mother Nature. Take this portion. I'm going to use another part of Mother Nature. Let me see if you guys can see. I'm going to take this in, and we're going to make a tent stake. Simply in a rush, this is what you do. We're going to take another piece. No, actually, we're just going to make it smaller. So now, as you can see, we will be somewhat more secure, have more heat to keep with us. So just by lowering one end, that will, you can modify your shelter. And even to secure it more, there is a grommet on this side. So in emergency, you're covered even more so. So these are just skills to come out into the bush and practice. And as you can see, well, let's secure something a little more. And I am out of the elements. I can always have a nice fire right here. Sweet dreams, guys. Okay, guys, so from this configuration, we now can make an A-frame that's going to be even lower to the ground, maybe at knee level. And the purpose of the A-frame with a 5x7 is to make the space smaller to contain more heat. So let's get started. And before we get started on the A-frame, again, this configuration is known as the Plow Point. So you can make a Plow Point out of a rectangular tarp, a 5x7. So again, we've made a lean-to shelter. This is a Plow Point. Let's move on to the A-frame. Okay, guys, let's start with the A-frame. So as you can see, the tarp is on the ground. I have lowered this to basically knee level. And again, this is going to be low enough so that I can get into it and contain more heat. So let's get started on this. So the first thing I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to take the middle grommet. I'm going to put the prusik knot through the middle grommet. Going to take some of Mother Nature and insert it. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to take the middle grommet, or you can do it a much more efficient way. think it would be much more efficient to have the ridge line on the inside. So let's take a closer look at it so far. So here, again, you can see prusik knot how it works. That's tight. It's part of Mother Nature. Exact same thing here. Push it in, it loosens. Pull it, it tightens. Part of Mother Nature. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to stake these out. So, let's get into position to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take the first tent peg, stake this out. Want to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so that's how it's looking so far. We're going to go to the rear and do the exact same thing. Okay, so this is the rear that we're going to start on. Simply going to take another tent peg, stick out the corner grommet, we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Now for added security, you could stake these out if necessary, or you can just throw brush leaves up against them. And there you have an A-frame. All right, guys, so this is the A-frame that's now ready for shelter. You can shelter yourself from the wind, rain, sun, snow, sleet. So let's just see how well it does sleep. Okay, so let's get in here. Okay. I'm in. Can rest well. Again, this will keep the heat, the rain, the sun, the snow, sleet, harsh weather off of you. And again, it is small to keep the heat in. So with a bedroll, thermal seat, proper clothing, a bivvy, you're good to go. So guys, rest time. See you soon. Okay guys, so we've touched up on one of the most important skills in bushcrafting. Again, that shelter. Again, we know we have to have something to sleep under, something to sleep on, something to sleep in. But the next important skill is firecraft. And again, I'm just out here practicing, wanting to perfect my skills. Now, I am going to make a Swedish fire, also known as a torch fire. This is a fire that you can cook on. You can use it for the heat, but it really won't generate that much heat for warmth. But something that I haven't done before, I did make some wedges that I want to try out today. Now, I'm going to be using an axe and a, let me get it. And a baton if there's much left of it. So, I'm going to split this log into 4 quarters to make a torch fire. As you can see, this is a large log. So what I'm going to do is start off, as you can see, there's already a nice crack in this wood, in this log here. So I'm just going to start inserting and pounding and seeing if this wood will split. Okay, let's get started. Okay, this is going to be fun. Again, it's just come out in the bush, practice your skills, have fun, no pressure. You'll only get better. All right, guys, so again, I'm going to start off using the hatchet. Since there is a split on here already, just going to use the hatchet to widen this. And the first wedge. And I can hear the wood cracking already. And as you can see, as they become loose. Here's even a smaller wedge. Again, guys, it's just practice. I've never used a wedge before. This is the fun part, the experimentation. The experimentation. As you can see, wedges do become loose. Okay, I can see where the hang up is in here. Or use the hatchet. Now this is one reason I do like all metal hatchets. You can hear the wood cracking. I would not attempt this with an axe or hatchet with a wooden handle. And as by default, a portion did split, but not as even as I'd like it. So there's a remedy. Let me get it. Okay, well, as the wood starts to split and break, not the way I anticipated, again, there's always one is none, two is one. So I am falling back on a Bud K kukri. It has a 10-inch cutting edge, carbon steel, you can never anticipate the hardness of wood. Again, great practice, guys. The work of a kukri. Now I need to split this into a quarter, into another half. Worked out well. I'm going to keep these together. Going to split this one. I'll keep these two together. And this is a portion of it. So, chat time. Okay. So guys, here again is one of the reasons I so strongly suggest, if you are interested in bushcrafting, camping, wilderness, anything to do with outdoors or wilderness, the best thing to do, I think, is come out into the environment and practice. So now, again, first time I ever used wedges. There's nothing wrong with the wedges. It's actually choosing the wood. These wedges are perfect. They did what they were supposed to do, except the wood configuration was somewhat different. So, again, one is none, two is one. A kukri. You're never going to go wrong, in my opinion, with a kukri. Because of the down force here, I don't think there's a better tool than a kukri. But guys, I'm going to put these together with some number 36 bank line. We're going to have us a nice Swedish fire or torch fire. This is going to be fun and exciting. In the bush, just enjoying it. All right, guys, here is the beginning of a torch fire, or is a Swedish fire. Now, this is supposed to be cut actually into quarters, but because of the age of the wood and some of the part that has rotten, we do the best that we can. But I'm going to add some kindling in here to get a fire started, and it's going to burn from the inside. There are air vents on the side, on each side, as you can see, to let air in. So I'm going to get my fire kit. We're going to mix the fire. All right, guys, so again, coming out in the bush and practicing, I think it's one of the greatest things when you are practicing bushcrafting, prepping, or survival skills. Again, this is going to be a Swedish fire, or known as a torch fire as well. But again, it depends on the condition of the wood. But I'm going to put you in focus, and I'm going to start this fire. And the only thing that I put in here is some fat wood dust. So let's see if we can get this thing going. Okay, I think the fat wood dust is too far down. So again, let's see, maybe I'll try again. Oh, I think we have it going now. So we do have the fire going now. I'm going to resheath my knife. So we do have a small fire. Let me just show it to you. There is a fire going in the small hole. So I'm going to let this build up, and we'll come back and have a chit chat. All right, guys, so the fire is going. This should last about 2 hours. I do have to use a bellow to make sure that it's continuously burning, which it is. It's burning very well. I have twigs that I can just constantly insert into the eye of the fire, shall we say. But let me give you a good look at that. So it's going rather nicely. I think this should actually last me 2 hours. So I think this is, what I'm going to do is put a pot on top of this and cook a meal. But yeah, guys, this is It was kind of difficult making this torch fire because of the logs, but it's working well. It's going to burn from the inside out. So that's a good thing. Just wanted to get my gloves here. Yeah, I'm sure if the sun wasn't so bright, you could see this very, very well. So guys, again, shelter, fire, I do have water and food. So let's not prolong the food much any longer. I'm going to get things prepared so that I can have a meal. The temperature is rising, which is good. So I'm going to go and get my food, and I'll be right back. Oh, the heat feels really good here. This is going to be an easy meal today, guys. I'm definitely going to have tea today, that is for sure. Oranges, anyone? Tea? What I'm having calls for about 2 cups of water. So we'll see. So, waiting to get a rolling boil. And the fire's not out. It just appears that way. And the flames are back in order again. It would be very nice to have some rocks to put the skillet, the pan on top of, but I don't, so But I'm going to let this come to a rolling boil, and then we're going to have us a nice meal. Alright guys, so as soon as it starts to boiling, I'm going to throw my food in, which is going to be teriyaki rice. Rice and pasta blend in a sweet teriyaki sauce. Alright guys, so the meal will be ready in just a few minutes. Hey guys, well the water did start to boil, so I did put in the rice. I think it's going to take it more than 7 minutes as it calls for on the directions, but this is just all practice. This bellow, let me see if I can get you straight on here. This bellow, not as straight. This bellow really works well, but I want to turn the temperature of the fire up. I think I put too much water in here, but it can only boil out. So yeah guys, so I put up the shelter today. I did, as you saw earlier, I did a lean-to. I turned it into a Plow Point. It's now in an A-frame. If I wanted to stay here all night, I have a spot. I can even camouflage it with leaves. So, and this Swedish torch, Swedish fire, I mean, I think this is really great, you know. Again, I had to put 5 pieces of logs together instead of 4, because some of it was not, some of it has kind of seen its days, but nevertheless, it is working. And I'm only doing that to keep the temperature up on the fire, because normally this is like a 7-minute cook, but I think it's going to take longer than that because I put in more water than necessary. But it's going to be a nice meal. Again, I'm just out here practicing. This is the Swedish torch, Swedish fire, but also for some reason we're not straight here. Okay, it's really going now. Gonna have to keep my eye on it. Yeah, let me, on the directions it calls for 1 3/4 cup of water. I'm sure this is about 1 3/4. I'm sure this is more than 1, that is for sure. But And thing with a fire, guys, always keep a shovel near and water. Spread your leaves back. But yeah, this is going really good now. And again, it's burning from the inside. And I estimate this log will last 2 to 3 hours. I do have some kindling right here that if necessary I would put in the middle, in the eye of the fire, but I don't think that's going to be necessary now. Yeah, it's quite different from cooking on your electric range at home, because you do have a lot of control over the heat there. But here, it's nature. And this is something that's good to practice, but I would not practice this in my backyard. The only place to practice this for me is the bush. Yeah, it was boiling really good. I put the rice in and the boil kind of went down, but it's still going to be delicious. After my meal, I'm going to have 2 oranges and some tea. And I still have so much wood here that I'm really saving this wood for a fishing trip. There's a lake not far from here, pretty good lake. I'm going to do some bass fishing in the daytime, and then I'm going to do some catfish fishing at night. So also, cooking is another skill for being in when you're in the bush. Again, it's not like your range, your gas or your electric range at home. So you have to closely monitor the fire. And I want to turn the heat up, so there we go. Pretty cool way of turning the heat up. Bellow, oxygen, transported directly to the fire. Alright guys, so when this gets ready, I'll bring you back for a taste test. But just look at Mother Nature, just look at the smoke. That's just from turning the fire up with a bellow. Alright guys, when it's time to eat, we will do that. It's actually kind of fun turning the heat up. That's music to the ears. All right, guys, I think the meal is ready. Yes, it's ready. This is the meal, guys. And it's now time to put the tea on. Going to turn the heat up. So guys, this is my routine practice for expending the few calories that I did today. I didn't have to process any wood other than split the wood to make the Swedish torch fire, which turned out okay. I've done them before. They were a lot better, but again, they should be split into quarters instead of fifths. And one edge, as you may can see here, was a problem. But hey, it's working as a torch fire, so and I did have an orange while waiting for this. It is really hot, but it is good. Make sure you can see this. Gatorade. Keep the electric lights going. It's gotten a bit warmer here. Just do it the easy way. Again, when you come out to bushcraft, bring camp soap and hand sanitizer. Hygiene is important, as we all know. Yeah, this Swedish fire is really burning well from the inside. Again, that's at least another 2 hours of burn time. Skills and more skills and more skills to acquire. But just remember, shelter, fire, water, food, first aid, navigation, signaling. Those are the main skills, and you can build off from those skills. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this meal. And when I come back, I'm gonna have a full stomach. All right, guys. Taste test, anyone? Oh, just look at the steam. This is really good, teriyaki. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey guys, meal was good. As you can see, the tea is boiling and it is ready. So I'm gonna have to come back and see you in a few minutes after tea time. Gonna let the tea steep. Oh, the tea smells so good. The tea that I have, Tapple, this is some really good tea, guys. Green tea, lemon. Don't need any honey, any sugar or anything. Just boil some very hot water, and this is it. So I'm going to finish with the Gatorade. And now, tea will go into this. If I can get the spoon off here. Yeah, this is a very, it's a nice day out here today in Northern Virginia. The weather's been cooperating pretty much now. I guess since we are in spring, the weather will only get better. Oh, guys, I wish you could smell the aroma. Cheers. So delicious. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. I'm going to enjoy this tea. The remainder of this fire. Then we'll come back for some more chit-chatting. Really good tea. I mean, come on. Teriyaki rice. 2 oranges. Top it off with some great tea. Oh my goodness. Really good. All right, guys. I'll be back. Well, guys, my fire is almost gone, but let me just heat it up one more time. Oh, that feels good. It really feels good. Whew. Hey guys, well, I don't know if I've done a lot of things here today. It's been a lot of fun, but hey, one of the reasons I say come to the bush and just practice your skills, because you get to use all of your tools. So let me show you what I used today. So today I used a BK, I think it's a BK, no, it's Bud K machete. It has a 10-inch cutting blade, carbon steel. Pretty good. This was gifted to me from someone in India. I don't know if you can see that. So I did use this today to remove some saplings. I also used a Camillus knife to make some kindling, which I really didn't have to use. So I used that. I used the S-Wing hatchet. Also, I used this to make some kindling. It has a 3-inch, I think 3.5-inch cutting edge. I used a saw I have not used in ages, which is a Gerber saw. This was made in Finland. I don't even think I'm sure you can find these online. But I used that to, again, process some kindling. And I brought my saw that I did not use at all. This was just in case if I was going to cut larger logs. But one of the things I like about this area, there's just so much wood. I mean, guys, I'm just gonna walk up here, not far from my fire, to show you there is a log that I eventually want to chop. And I'm going to do it with the 26-inch axe. So I'm going to show you this log. This is the log I am looking forward to chopping. Massive. The challenges of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival. This is an area that just has so much wood. Well, it's the bush. I mean, I'm still looking at logs this size. Now this log can be cut into two. And this root, this is nothing but fat wood. All of this is just fat wood. Yeah, remove the dirt. Nothing but fat wood. So if you cut, you can make this into 3 logs. Have a long fire. I had started on that. This log I did not get to use. I'm going to use it for something else, but this was for the winter, and I didn't get a chance to use it. These poles are going to be, I don't know about this one, but no, this is not going to work. It's going to make a bed, but more wood. Another log for an overnighter. And do you guys remember this? I'm still looking for a handle, but I just thought about something. I could get another head. I don't know, the shoulder on this is gone now, but yeah, I just left this out here. It's going to be some firewood. I'm still looking for a handle for that axe head. And I tell them everywhere I go, I'm not going to order one online for this reason. This is the grains going horizontal. They should be going vertical. But that's that. But guys, it's been a lot of fun. You know, these are the tools that I use today. Again, this is the shelter. I was just kicking up some leaves, showing I can make this out of a stilk. You will never be able to see it. So that was my project for today, which was making a lean-to shelter, turning that lean-to into a plow point, and then making an A-frame. And again, the purpose of that A-frame is because it is small, you can contain more heat. So that was my objective today. Also was to make the Swedish fire or torch fire. And again, the only issue I ran into is that some of the wood was not in great shape. It should have been in quarters, but they ended up being in fifths. So this is what's left of it. And I knew it would burn for, this has been going on now for maybe 3 hours. And I still have all this wood that's going to be used when I go fishing. And this is everything that I have to clean up. I'm letting my pan soak. I'm going to wash that out. This is water to extinguish the fire. I still have Gatorade. There's tea. It's just been a grand old time being in the bush. So guys, I am going to clean up everything and we'll chit chat as soon as I do. The fire. Cooked some nice rice on it. Made some tea. Kept me warm. It served its purpose. A look at a partially camoed shelter. Not only is this camoed, by adding leaves and debris, it will also help keep heat inside of you, inside of the shelter. So let's take a comparison look. This side is camoed. It is covered with debris. You can see the contrast. Again, with more debris on top of the shelter, and with many things such as foliage, this can be disguised. Hey guys, it's just another skill to learn in the bush. Red in the shed, north 206. All right, guys. It has been an exciting day to be in the bush once again. Exciting to make a lean-to tarp shelter into a plow point, and then make an A-frame that will keep you away or keep you out of harsh weather, and to make a Swedish fire or torch fire out of a piece of log that should have been split into quarters, but because of Mother Nature, it's split into fifths. However, as a bushcrafter, we learn to adjust. We see things that other people don't. For example, that log may be just a log, but that log provides tinder. All in all, it provides shelter. It provides fire, comfort. So, when we come out into the bush, we look at things differently. So this has been a great experience. Once again, I got to use a Bud K kukri, a Camillus knife, a Gerber saw, and that's about it. Was able to cook and just enjoy the day. So guys, if you're interested in bushcrafting, camping, wilderness, you can start in your neighborhood. Make your neighborhood your practice location. Learn your neighborhood well. Learn the plants in your neighborhood, the animals. Practice in your backyard. But ultimately, you will come to the bush. So with that said, guys, I'm headed out of here. And as always, like father and son, mother and daughter, human and nature, we are all akin in some form or fashion. So get out in the bush and have some fun. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter. Stay safe, everyone.